Okay, let's talk about the evening mobility routine. This needs to be quite a different energy than what we just did. You could see in that last video that even going through partials on those, right, that I got a little wind going, that I got a little heated. It is a warm up. We don't need that type of energy right before we lay down and try to go to bed. So I do some things differently. You could adapt any of those movements towards the evening. I would just say, if you're going to use those movements in the evening before bed, the closer you are to bed, the less energy I would give to them, right? I would make them more luxurious and less vigorous, if that makes any sense. My personal preference is I like to get my yoga mat and I lay it right out here. Kids on the couch, we put a show on that we want to watch, and I sit down here and give myself 10 minutes of good love on the yoga mat. I have to get this yoga mat out. It feels better to me to practice on it. But I start with the foam roller. So you're going to put this towards the top of your yoga mat and then sit on it. Now, a lot of chiropractors I know don't like people foam rolling on their low backs. I think you need to be aware of your own situation. If you have a condition or an old injury or an instability in your low back or a disc injury or something like that, then certainly use caution or speak to your chiropractor before you try this. But any of this, I guess, could be somewhat dangerous if you have any of those conditions. So some chiropractors will say just skip the low back altogether. But I feel like this is a wonderful place to get some pressure into those big lumbar erector muscles on each side of the spine and the QLs back there. I like that part. And then after you've hit your low back, or if you want to skip your low back, move right into the thoracic spine. And you want to take it all the way up to the head and the neck. I like to take my hands above me here and then roll back and forth. When you move these shoulders around, the muscles that you get squished under this thing change. So I like to move my arms based on what's feeling good back here on my shoulders. I like to get here and let that head hang off the edge and kind of wiggle that around a little bit. It feels nice. You can wiggle that spine as you move up and down it. You can roll to one side and really push into the ribs on either side if that feels good. But move, if nothing else, just roll up and down 5 or 6 times. At that point, put that foam roller right at the bottom of your shoulder blades. Drop your booty to the ground and then start taking your head back. And then start taking your arms back. And you'll hang. And you're in a nice spinal and neck decompression here. It's like traction using gravity. Helping you to maintain that cervical curvature. Keeping these shoulders moving up and back. And just hang here for 30 seconds to a minute. There's another way to do that too. If you want to turn this, this also feels good. Turn this long ways down this and put that right in between the shoulder blades, and you can hang the head off and let the chest open here as well. At any rate, now we're done with the foam roller. Now we need to stretch through the lower body. So I start legs long. I'm going to sit up nice and tall, keep my back flat as long as I can, and then I'll let gravity round my spine forward, and just a nice stretch through the back of the legs here in a forward fold, shooting for 30 to 60 seconds in all of these stretches. Then we're going to take those legs out into a nice wide sitting position. Same stretch, spine nice and tall. Reach way out and let gravity and your breath just let you fall deeper and deeper and deeper into each stretch over the course of about 30 to 60 seconds. Now, when you're in this position, if you want to do a little bit more here because it feels good, you can take each side and stretch over the leg with a flat spine, and then rotate and pull through your arm so you get a real nice lateral stretch on the other side, right? Other side looks like this. And a nice flat back over this leg, very intense through this leg, and then pull through that side laterally to stretch down this whole part of the body. You can even do some fun things here like roll through these hips and over these legs and just get a more momentous movement that's still nice and chill and relaxed. From here, pull the legs in, place the feet down so that the soles find the floor, and then you can start rolling through these hips, what we call a 90-90 position. And try to keep your spine up. If you need to roll way back here and then come up, you can. If you can keep that spine pretty well up and you'll find more stretch in the hips that way, you can do it that way as well. This is a really good one. You can even fold over each side if you want to do it that way. Very important though to keep that hip mobility in your daily routine. From there, cross-legged position, reach up and fold over. Really nice deep stretch in the hips. You can also get what we call looping here, which is a really nice way to move your body. This is based on the work of Michael Lugering. It's called The Expressive Actor. That's the name of his book. That's the name of his organization. You can find him on Facebook. You can find his book, The Expressive Actor, on Amazon. But some really lovely work. It's all about unlocking expressive potential in your voice and your body. And this is one of those movements that we use in that class. Don't forget to go both crossings of the legs and the feet here. You can just, if you don't want to loop, you can just fold. That's fine as well. After we've done this part, we want to roll over into all fours and take a minute and give ourselves a nice cat and cow and move that spine gently. You can even add kind of that barrel roll and really press into the edges of the spine. Go both ways if you want. All that feels good. If you need another little push into the hips, you can do, that, or a little spinal twist. You can add one more of that towards the end of your day. It's all fine. And then we'll sit straight back and get a nice stretch across the front side of the ankle and foot. Make sure you're not dumping way back here, that you've got a nice neutral spine with some curve in your low back, that you're sitting up in a nice tall position, but that your weight is sitting back over the ankles. If you over time feel like you're not getting enough stretch here, this is great for all of these joints. You can press in and add a little pressure to the toes and get more stretch across the foot and the ankle. Try to be there for, 30 seconds. Tuck those toes in underneath you so you're stretching through the bottom of the foot and the back side of the ankle and the calf. Sit back. Again, nice neutral spine here. Try to be here for another 30 seconds. And then we're going to rock back. Hey, buddy. And find a nice, wide, deep squat. Took me a long time to figure this out. I don't know what it's going to look like for you. If you're able to do it, this is the time to kind of just sit here for a minute or two and let your body sink into it. You can add these spinal rotations if that feels right for you before bed. If not, just sit and or watch your tube or whatever you're doing. But a couple of minutes here is good. You can turn this into, I like to take it from there into a nice forward fold, flat leg stretch here. Some people will do this actively. I think it's a good exercise. I don't know if it fits here. I do like I like to bounce my spine a little bit and let that all move and move my head and my neck like we talked about in the other video. Flexion, extension, lateral flexion, and rotation. I think this is, with gravity pulling on it, it's a great way to do it. And then you put a little bend in your knees and you tuck that tailbone under and you start rolling up your spine. You should feel super ooey gooey and ready for bed. That's my evening routine. That's how to foam roll. That's a nice little stretch. Try each of those, and I hope that helps you with your mobility. Peace.